It's Aufgates. Yeah, that's how we say it. Are you ready?
Yeah.
So when we do it, Aufgates.
Aufgates.
Okay. All right. Welcome everybody to podcast number 370. Can you believe we're on 370?
I can't.
That's ridiculous. Now we do not have the audio quality of the EBFC show. Easier, better for construction. Go ahead, say it.
Welcome to the EBFC show. Easier, better for construction podcast.
And then mine is welcome to, no, I can't do the female voice. Welcome to the, hell, if you get ready to step out of your comfort zone. Dun, dun, dun. So my wife, she's like, you have to get rid of that music. And I'm like, hey, I need that music. Like that flows through my veins. I'm so addicted. Reno, do you remember when you made that for me?
Yeah.
And do you still love it?
No.
Well, let's get going. Welcome. Oh, what?
It'll cost you.
I'm not paid. Okay. Stay with us.
This is the Elevate Construction Podcast, delivering remarkable content for workers, leaders, and companies in construction wanting to take their next step. Get ready to step out of your comfort zone with Jason Schroeder as he encourages you to do better, live a remarkable life, and expect more. Let's go.
Welcome, everybody. We're here with Reno Schroeder, otherwise known by his DJ name is Renovate. Spencer Easton over here, the man. What did they call you?
Spends money.
No, it's Spence Money, but it was Easton.
Easton.
Yeah, okay. And then Felipe Engineer-Manriquez. Okay, so what we're talking about now, we just want to capture, even if it's just a couple minutes, it doesn't have to be very long, but just capture some of the excitement of meeting with Janosch. It's Dlouhy, right?
Yeah.
Dlouhy, yeah. And Saskia and the team. Who was the other person that was with us? What's her name?
Magdalena.
Magdalena. Man, Magda. Yeah, those are such cool names. Anyway, so just some reflections. So Reno, by the way, thank you for being with us. Reno helped play the simulation. It was really fun. Oh, so real quick, what was it like to tour through the BMW museum, showroom, and factory?
It was awesome.
Okay,
Tell me for the cars, not the construction.
What was your favorite car?
There was a BMW M8. That was really cool to see, but culturally, M3s are pretty awesome. So the M8 and the M3 were both cool to see.
That's awesome. And so if anybody doesn't know, BMW, we're at the Bavarian Motor Works. And so what I learned and I hope my German listeners will not get mad at me, but they made it clear that Bavaria is much different than just being in Germany. So we got the whole experience here. Spencer, what were some of the things that you thought were pretty cool? We'll just get to riffing here in a minute, but what was your favorite part of meeting with Janosch?
We did a simulation of how flow works on a construction site when you do what we know how to do versus getting guided a little bit towards tact. And it was absolutely amazing, mind-blowing, and I feel like I'm just starting a tact journey. So really excited about that. Another thing that I really liked about the time here, Yanosh took us on a tour of the actual production line, and we got to go out on the production line and stand on the freaking production line and actually Renovate here actually touched one of the cars. He wasn't supposed to get yelled at. He reached up and grabbed us.
Small price to pay for stuff.
And the German angst came out of Yanosh and told Renovate that was not something that he could do.
I don't think, just for clarity on the podcast, I don't think he actually touched the car, but But Felipe said it was the best part of the whole trip, having Reno get yelled at. I thought that was really good.
He didn't even yell. He's just like,
it was the stern German.
No, it wasn't even came out of nowhere. It was so nice. He's just like, hey, you're not supposed to touch it. I was like, oh, my bad.
Yeah.
And I did. I touched the drive shaft.
I think he used the words.
Well, now
you will not touch that like a Jedi mind trick.
It wasn't. We never mentioned where we were. Well, actually, we did. So we were in a different car plant. and didn't touch the dry shaft. So, anyway, it's pretty
It's a very
amazing.
nice dry shaft, by the way.
And where we stood, actually, the platform of the production line where we were standing moves with the cars.
I don't even think we were supposed to be standing on
No.
the platform.
And
Can you roll up your window, Reno?
Yeah, it's up.
It is? What?
Yours is down.
Oh,
That's like the song and playing in my head is the story of my life. Like that always happens with Reno and me. Go ahead, sorry.
So the actual production line moves with, like, the cars are on a track up above, and they were moving along this line, and the platform that the actual manufacturers stand on moves at the same rate as the cars. And we learned that in each one of the different shops, there's the auto body shop, there's the engine shop. Each one of them has a different throughput. And in the shop where we were standing, every 56 seconds? Every 56.
He said they're at 58.
Sorry, every 58 seconds, a car comes out of that shop ready for the next process from the auto body shop. So it was really interesting to see how long of a line it was, and that every 58 seconds they have a car coming off of it. It was beautiful.
Did we mention that the bottom platform moves with the cars?
Yeah.
We did? Okay, so I thought that was really cool. So when the car goes to the different stations, you can just stand there and move. It's real. I thought that was really cool.
And the buffers. So they had enough time to do their work, and it still stayed in the station area. That's when the platform actually stopped moving. So where you actually stop moving with the car, that's an indication that you might not have finished everything, or they have time to go back and fix maybe something that is defected. So I really like that they had a little bit of buffer in those stations to be able to deal with any of those variances or quality issues.
I like that you're calling it variances because that's the German way to put it.
Yeah.
All right. So, we saw some whiteboardulation. Like there was whiteboard everywhere.
yes.
We saw some Scrum. We saw some lean visual systems. Oh man, so good. Felipe, what was your big takeaway from yesterday? We want to get people excited.
My big thing was, yes, BMW uses Scrum, baby, for design and in the auto works, baby, in the production. It's in play. I saw so many different versions of lean visual management. Lean is alive and well, and there was even a whiteboard dedicated to the lean journey for people in this production line, which I thought was incredible. There was a promise that we're going to go back and see it, so I guess we're going to go back again, Jason.
Yeah.
Back to Bavaria and look at this lean journey again. And we can insert ourselves on it. Here's the part where Elevate Construction came to help make it remarkable.
It was interesting because we went through the plant when there were they were on vacation.
Yeah, they're on holiday.
Oh, they're on holiday. Yeah, so nobody was in there. So it's funny. Yanosh talks about filled systems and empty systems. Like going to a new building, it's an empty system. There's a ramp up, meaning with buffers. Certain trades are waiting to go there. But with their factory, their plant, the cars, as soon as they pause the line, they stop the line. They're all still they're all still in the system. So when they come back and they queue everybody up, the cars will just start right where they stopped. It was pretty interesting. But we saw this huge line, and he said, how many people does it take? With all the automation, it takes, there's either 4 or 7 people. Do you remember?
I forget.
Yeah, it was 5.
Five people.
The first area we were in, there was this huge, massive area. Like imagine like the half of the size of a Walmart, and only 5 people operating that entire line in that section.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty neat. One of the things that and actually everybody took away from, so we go tour, we saw the Olympic Center in Munich, which was fantastic, beautifully designed. Then we saw the BMW showroom and got a taste of German whoa. I need to like spaghetti. It's Bavarian. It's a Bavarian excellence in detail. The other thing that was impressive when we toured the line is there's a quality check station where they have. Do you remember what they have there? That's super.
Tons of lights.
Tons of lighting. Like you could see fly sneezes like on these things. Like you could see everything. I was gonna say, never mind. But but like the lighting is so people are in there inspecting it, and if something isn't perfectly right, they'll take it off the line, and they have stations where they categorize a possible, I'm not even saying defects, a possible defect, so they go into the inspections. But anyway, it was powerful to go to the stadium to see the design and the excellence that was done in the 80s, or actually in the 70s was when it was built, and then the showroom, and then the line, and the office buildings, and then the museum, and then to go look at the things that Janosch and Marco are doing with tact planning. I'll just say that tacting as a software is not only amazing, but it's starting to package things in a way where you can pay contractors through the application. You can order materials. They said in Finland, all materials are ordered through the application tacting on time, just in time, according to the right material inventory buffers. So their vision is that one day, and I'm not going to give too much of it out because we're going to hit on this business deal before you do. Anybody that's listening, but like literally, Divs, could you imagine a system where the project was broken out, tacted, clearly defined, with all the work steps, with all the right quality steps, the payment, and the schedule of values kind of goes away, and it goes per tacted area, per scope, so that as soon as somebody's done with that area, they get paid, right? The quality, and no.
And it's bought out.
So bought out everything through that system, through that tacted system. But once the quality checks are done, then you get paid.
Yep.
You talk about incentivizing somebody to follow a quality process, like that would be why couldn't we do that now? Like, your progress payments aren't done until, well, it's probably too much paperwork outside of an automated system. But one of the things that Marco's name is easier to say, so I keep saying, one of the things that Yanosh was talking about is a lot of times they separate the material deliveries from the trade partner, meaning that they can have logistics companies bring these materials and just in time, right? Not bog down the trade partners with it. Trade partners come do what they do best, is doing the work. And I'm not saying this will work everywhere, and he's not either. But the other thing is, if you supplement, like a lot of times in the United States, when we say, hey, we want to supplement a contractor, well, you can't, because they're holding our materials hostage. And I can think of some very specific instances in contracting with our current labor shortages and difficulties where possibly separating out some of the materials could make a ton of sense. So where Janosch and Marco are heading with tacting, and where we're going with them, with the simulations, the training, the software, the support, the tacting, the integration with Scrum, the integration with Last Planner, gaining 10, 20, 30, 40% in projects, and then being able to automate it, we are heading in a direction where we'll see the Upworkification or the Fiverrification or the Uberification of construction in the future, because it's brought into automated systems. Ooh, and I'm going to get this, and I want to hear y'all's closing thoughts. What did Yanosh say? He said he was talking about software that a lot of these applications are just digitizing stickies, but he said, don't create a software, and this is so profound, and I'd love your thoughts on it. Don't create a software that does things that humans should do, like collaboration and yeah, you can use an online platform. That's not what we're saying, but don't keep creating software to do things humans should do. Do things that support what humans should do. Do the things like the mathematical calculations, the AI, the computing, the database, the projections that human minds can't do. And I thought that was really profound. Any thoughts on that?
And he said, so that humans can have time to collaborate and do the things that humans do.
Yeah. Which part of it is the planning, which part of it is the being the builder, which part of it is the QC. One of the things that Janosch was talking about is when a trade partner starts, you need to be out there with them, coaching them. And we invented, do you remember what term we invented, Felipe?
Horizontal.
No,
Not bad.
we're keeping that one. So there's the vertical and the horizontal flow. So that's a new part of the dictionary. I'm talking about the RPDCA, baby. Rapid plan, do, check, act. He's like, be in the field with your trades and coach them and get them heading in the right direction. Get them in those production principles. Use that tact control, which is actually built on those Scrum principles of small team sizes, right? And being able to do your reflections. He even said retrospective, didn't he?
He did.
So I thought it was, I don't know if anybody on this podcast right now from this episode can capture the enthusiasm, but I want it to be, again, verbally, I predict, and Felipe can take the Scrum part, but Scrum is going to scale through the United States, not just with software and manufacturers. It will scale through construction. And I predict that tax planning will scale massively and will be one of, with Scrum, the next biggest things in our industry. And we can get on board now or we can regret it. Okay. Well, I suggest we all get on board. And that Last Planner will come to its 2.0, 3.0 versions by integrating with Scrum and Takt. And that's my prediction as we scale CPM out. And so I really, really just the excitement of where our industry is headed and being able to enable and train and pay trades and QC trades and grade trades and everything through a takted system sounds really cool. So let's get some closing thoughts. Mr. Easton.
I was blown away at something Felipe said when we were with Yanosh. You had said that what you're doing is not what we see anybody else doing. And you talked about how line of balance isn't the first thing you go to. Some of the different things you're like, what you're doing is completely different. So when in the United States, when we hear tact, that's not what people think. And some might have a bad taste in their mouth. Felipe, I guess, could you share a little bit from that? Because that was something that was impactful to me. I was like, that's totally right. Like you picked up on it, and I was just sitting there in awe. So
I got tech training 4 years ago in Berkeley, and it was good. I thought it was good at the time, and it was better than what I knew, and it was partnered and paired with Last Planner System. And yesterday with Yanosh, we went through multiple simulations, and one where we tried with Last Planner first before to play, and then a second one where we started with mathematics. Started with mathematics first, and it blew away everything that I thought was possible with Takt. We were in the zone. We were in the flow zone. I have never felt so good, so happy. There were points during the simulation where we broke out into singing while we were working.
What did we sing?
I don't remember, but
it was like an 80s song or something. It was like an old.
Oh yeah, because you made fun of my American dancing.
But it had never happened before. And when I had done Takt training before, there were some things that were kind of forced with line of balance that didn't even solve a problem that we really had. And in this simulation where we start with math first, you get instantaneous feedback on are we breaking this up to the right level? Do we have our constraints handled? And then once we started, the amount of communication while we were in simulation decreased. And when Yanosh would pause us at these key moments for control, like you would do in the real field, like Spencer was saying, you pause at the end of the day, do a quick reflection with your worker to make sure everything's stable. In those moments where you're looking at what the work's doing, making teeny tiny shifts of the approach to the work had massive exponential outcomes to the time it took and the flow state that each person was in. It was incredible.
Yeah, it was incredible. It was life-changing, really. And then you just got you got that right after Tony Robbins.
Yeah.
Holy cow. So one of the things that there was an interesting moment that we started doing when we were playing the simulation. We each had 60 seconds to do our tact area, and we split them up into 6 tact areas, tact zones, whereas normal industry stuff probably would have split it up into only 2. So we had smaller batch sizes, not too small. When we had tried it the first time, and try is the right word for that, we had too many. We had like 54. and it really needed to be 6. So we do want smaller batch sizes, but it needed to go from 2 to 6, not 2 to 54. So, so we had a great time failing in the first one, and then on the second one, we had a great time winning with the, well, I'll call it right sizing of batch sizes, right sizing of the tax zones. And when each person got done, let's say I finished 10 seconds early or 5 seconds early. Not to tease Spencer, but I don't know if he ever finished early. Did he? He had the hardest scope. He was doing the roof.
What on like
Oh, you did one?
zone 4?
Yeah.
I did really good on there. And that's just you helped and the Reno helped and it was the support from everybody else that helped me succeed.
So that's a good point. So Felipe was doing his work, and then he would queue up Saskia and get the materials staged there for her. And then for me, when I got done putting in the last set of beams, I think they were the transverse beams, not the longitudinal ones, but the final set of beams, I would then go get Spencer's materials, and maybe a logistics company who does this in real world, and go queue them up. And so the last vision I want to leave everybody with before we say Auf geht's at the end is, could you imagine a system of construction where the trade partners come and they're ready to do their best work, and the materials are there packaged and ready, anything assembled and prefabricated that you might need, with the screws and the tools and the gang boxes, with a clean swept area, looking all pretty and beautiful like you're opening up an Amazon package for your first day, ready to go. And that is just not what we do. Workers come in, they do the orientation, they come out, and then everybody starts their treasure hunt search for the materials and everything else, and it's chaos. But the staging of materials the Friday before, the Thursday before, or even early that Monday morning or on Saturday, or whenever it happens, really appealed to me, because that's really, like, if you go back to any point in your life, can you remember a time, even when you were assembling like your crib or your bunk beds or whatever, or your first playground kit for your kids, and you like set out the box and you got your screwdriver and you swept everything and you cleared the room out and it's freshly painted, like how good it felt to just have everything you needed there. That's the environment we need to set up our trades with. And that's one of the biggest things I took away. So when we were queuing up other people, when Spencer finally, sorry. When Spencer finally got his roof done on the last area, and then on time, in 55 or 50 seconds, came to the other one, all of his roofing material was staged there ready to go. And so he was able to make his time. And then on tax zone 4, you got ahead, didn't you?
Yep.
So really thought that was cool. I'm hoping that our little discussion here about what should we title this? Is this like scheduling madness, tact madness? What do we want to call it? I don't know. Any thoughts? Felipe comes up with all of the branded names for Elevate. He came up with the tact production system, the tact conductor, anyway. What should we call it?
Janosch blew our mind.
Yeah, this was geometric tact. Or there was
what about astronomic? Go ahead.
Yeah, astronomic or multi-dimensional planning.
Well, and it wasn't even just the mathematics up front that makes that, but at the beginning we started seeing that we could get done even with extra time in 50 seconds, not 60.
Yeah.
We increased our throughput midway through the dang thing.
You don't have to rush to finish early.
Because I think I was the longest, and I took about 50 seconds.
Yeah.
And so that's what we set it to. And I think we shaved, was it 2 minutes off or something like that?
No, it went from 15 to 9 or something like that.
Yeah. It saved all this time just because we made that tiny tweak about, I don't know, was it 4 or 5 tax zones in with the first trade, right?
Yeah.
And just that little tweak, because we saw that, production together, making that small adjustment, it was awesome.
Which means we adjusted the tack time once we could verify that everyone would make it. And that's what we do on the team. As long as you can align your supply chains and procurement with those earlier dates, then we did that as a team. But then once we had set the new 50-second rule, we didn't start new areas until the drum beat hit, which is the key. We have to get away from, just move people randomly earlier. We have to get away from that to, and I think Felipe and Spencer, you came up with this idea that if you start to get into a rhythm where you finish in 4.5 days, why not let the crew really enjoy a half a day on Friday, setting up, getting their materials shaken out, getting their gang boxes organized, you're making sure that you have all the inventory, grabbing the lift drawings, going through the quality checklist, doing some training. And they said, Yanosh said, rain days, training days, rain days, prep days. I'm thinking about some of the clients we work with. When it rains, they just push. I'm not criticizing them, they're great people, but they just push through the mud and the garbage and pumping, and they're out there miserable. Why not just pause, time out, let's let it rain for the first half of this day, clean it up tomorrow or this afternoon, whatever, but bring them in the shop. What can we prefabricate? What can we pre-assemble and load on the truck? What training can we do? What can we do to make our logistics work? So, everybody good?
Yeah, for the final title, I love multi-dimensional tact.
Multi-dimensional tact. Ooh, we said that in sync. Okay, all right, let's do this. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Did you say out? Did you cheat this time, Felipe?
No, I said that.
You said it? All right,
I said that.
one more time.
Off gates.
Okay, all right. 1, 2, 3. Okay.
Please join us next time in elevating the entire construction experience for workers, leaders, and companies coast to coast. If you're enjoying the show, please feel free to share with your construction colleagues and help us spread the word by rating, subscribing, and leaving a review on your preferred podcast listening platform. We really appreciate it. We'll catch you next time on the Elevate Construction Podcast.